Have you ever been put in the position of making decisions for others and it might affect your integrity or your own sovereignty? Stay tuned, let's talk about it. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video by Pan Society. I'm Cherie, and today I want to talk about decision making for others and how it affects your integrity and your sovereignty. I have three possible scenarios that this would apply to that's happened in my life probably within the last 2 years, and it's given me a lot of food for thought. So I thought I would pass on my experience and my thoughts on it. So keep in mind, this is my opinion, this is how I dealt with it, and if you have an alternate way of doing it, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know if you would do it differently or if you have another opinion, because you know, the more eyes on something, sometimes the better. So the first scenario would be taking on someone else's children just in case. So this was like a will signing thing, and a lot of people do these lightly. Actually, they don't put a lot of thought into, oh, the scenario could actually happen, but we did, because we really thought it was a strong possibility. So the people that we were doing it for are strongly Catholic, and they were raising their children Catholic, and I'm okay with this, everybody's okay with this, but then if we were taking on the children, that means I would have to start investigating a Catholic church for them, because I am not Catholic myself. So these are conversations I had to have with the parents on how they wanted me to proceed with this. And then I had to discuss where my comfort level is with all of this. And then also, is it a slap in the face that I'm just showing up at a Catholic mass and it's not my thing, but I'm only there to bring the children if that's their choice. So this one was one of those scenarios that worked out beautifully, because the parents said, hey, the kids are responsible for their own religious upbringing, their own religious practices. So if they decided that they wanted to go, I would just have to be willing to take them. And that is something I absolutely could live with. And if they decided one day that they didn't want to go anymore, that was okay as well, because that was their choice. So I love this, because the parents were totally respecting the kids' sovereignty and their choices, and letting them lead their own lives. And it wasn't putting me in a place where I could object to anything or be uncomfortable. And so it was a great scenario for everybody. So another scenario would be, recently my sister was hospitalized and needed some medical decisions made for her. Now, thankfully, my sister and I are very close, so we kind of believe in the same things, would go along the same routes and everything. Also, gratefully, she still kind of had her faculties about her. It's just communication. She was having a hard time communicating with everybody else, the medical team, everybody that was coming in to help her, but I could understand her. So this was one of the easier ones, where the doctors would explain to me what's going on, and I would explain to her, and then we would discuss, and then I would help her make the best choice that she wanted to happen. And so that's one of those easier ones when you're dealing with that kind of sovereignty. So she would tell me what she wanted, I would relay it, and it worked out. So that's one of those easier ones when you're the one that has to make the decisions, but you could still talk to the person those decisions are being made about. Now, my final scenario is the opposite of that. So I also have somebody else who came into my life recently who I'm taking care of, and their faculties are not with them all the time, so they have lucid moments and sometimes they don't. This is a little bit more difficult because also their beliefs are a little bit different than my own, so some of the choices would not be my personal choices, so I have to understand that it might be theirs. So there are times that I can actually get information, especially medical or help related, discuss it with them, and then come to a conclusion on how they would be helped. So I could still help with their wishes and still be staying within my own integrity. Also, if there are moments where I wasn't cool with what was happening. I was like, well, I can't tell them that, but you can, and I will stand by you when you tell them that's what you want. A tip I would give you in this kind of situation too is when there are lucid moments, have these conversations. What are your wishes for this? What are your possibilities for this? These things might come up, so are you okay if I make a decision from my way? I see a lot of times still when I was in the hospital with my sister and this new person in my life that not with them but with other people in the hospital, that you can see that the family members are just making decisions that the person who is either actively dying or going through something, they're not following their wishes because they are stuck in a place of it's personal for them, like they don't want to see their loved one go. And I can totally understand this, but you have to have these conversations ahead of time and then have to follow your own integrity and listen to what these people want. And if you in your heart cannot make those kinds of decisions, actively put someone in place that can and will, because in the end that's what's better for the person who is going through these medical things, and that's what they want. So that's following in what they want. And if you know you can't do it, please put someone else in charge that can and know that they're doing the right thing. And then that's, you know, everybody will be happier in the end, I promise. If you have ever come across any of these scenarios or have a different one in mind or would actively do something different than I have, comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this, because I don't think we talk about this enough. I think we are all afraid to talk about death, possibly dying, and then also, you know, we're afraid to let people go sometimes, and so we tend to not honor them, honor their wishes and honor their integrity, and we make poor decisions based on gut reaction or just that, you know, maybe false hope or something else. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in another Pan video.